Oh, I hooked my charger up. Good afternoon. Make sure the people on here. My people ain't on here. Let's let the people come in. Okay, here we go. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm giving people time to come in. Okay, so welcome to the Original Straight No Chaser YouTube channel. My name is Nay, and today, baby, we finna discuss Miss Drew Sidora and her claims against her former employee, Monique Wane. And Monique will share receipts to counteract Drew's recent claims on Real Housewives of Atlanta season 14 and 15 concerning the conditions of Monique's employment and her food by Drew Sidora. We're gonna get into the who, what, when, where, and why of everything that led up to the lawsuit being filed against the Real Housewives of Atlanta star. And we'll hear it all from Monique's mouth, along with receipts to back up her claims. A backstory for those unfamiliar with this matter. This experience with Drew Sidora and Monique took place in 2021, y'all. Yet it continues to be discussed on season 15 of Real Housewives of Atlanta. So we're gonna get into some things too, child. Turn up your volume, pull up a seat because we got a lot to go through, y'all. She gave me a lot of receipts. But before we get into it all, I'd like to thank you all for joining me. I hope you guys have a good afternoon. And I'm about to bring Monique on now.
Hello.
Good afternoon, Monique.
Good afternoon. How you doing?
Fine, girl. How you doing?
I'm all right.
Okay, before we get into anything, y'all, I want to play the video of what Drew actually said concerning Monique, her employment, and her food. Some of y'all might have heard it on Original Straight No Chaser Instagram or in my story, wherever you view Original Straight No Chaser content. But let's get into that.
What are you talking about?
There's some stuff on the internet saying that you
Why you
didn't pay.
whispering?
Chef over there. There's some stuff on the internet. You brought somebody in as a chef, and then she ended up doing all this other work. What was it?
Well, it's a lawsuit, but it's being handled by my attorneys. But it's a lot of false information on internet. She wanted to come and cook for my family and trial some of her food, and it had hair in it, and it was very trash. She's not a chef. She is a girl who wanted to cook some food. I was not interested. She did not get the job, but she's running to the media. She's doing interviews, so I see what it is. They're trying to make me look like Sheree, but let me tell you, she pays her bills. And
How much is she suing you for?
$1,000.
Girl, bye. You want us just to help give you $1,000?
No, I'm paying attention. $1,000.
So the chef's gonna get paid.
Okay. So that's basically what Drew had to say about Monique. So Monique, we're gonna start by getting into your receipts.
Okay.
So how did this whole situation come about with you being employed by Drew?
Because one of her assistants was an associate of mine, and she asked me to cook for them. I sent in a sample plate, and because it was just some food that I made at my house, and I sent it to her manager because the assistant was going over, and then from there on they asked me to cook.
Okay, so we're gonna add them receipts to show. Though Drew said she requested to cook for her, the receipts say otherwise. So on October the 7th, 2021, the assistant Danielle Williams, who also appeared on Real Housewives of Atlanta, requests Monique to cook for Drew. As you see in the text message, she said, "When you gonna do the food, ma'am?" Though Drew stated she wanted to cook some food for her, but that's a lie. They requested this young woman to cook food for them. Okay, and here's the sample plate that she sent over, which was sent over on October the 10th. As you guys see, everything is marked with the date and time. Okay, so Danielle sent back over a review. She said, first said he's smacking you about the yams. Okay, first is the manager. He enjoyed the yams, and Monique was asked to cook for 7 people the following day. Monique stated 11 people actually ate the meal when she looked at it when she got there and realized who was actually partaking. That included 8 adults and 3 kids, the 3 kids being Drew kids. Drew's assistant Danielle rushes Monique to bring the food over the following day. Okay, so this is the day she's supposed to cook the food, and Drew said that it had hair in it. Monique, explain what these meals are.
This is a casserole on that side. That's for the children, and then the other one is stuffed salmon.
Okay. So, and you cooked them all in clear Pyrex dishes, and
Yes.
you wrapped it with clear wrapping, so
Yes,
they
I
could see
did.
everything and go through everything, and see that it was nothing contaminated, and they could see through everything.
Yes, Pyrex.
So she also prepared this as well. She said this was mainly, I believe, for Ralph.
Yeah.
But they informed her of the nanny duties after preparing the food. They informed her of the nanny duties, and she agreed to the nanny duties. They asked you, when did they ask you that, Monique?
They actually asked me that 2 days after, because when I left on the 11th, which we have that receipt as well, on the 11th, as soon as I got home, that's when they asked me to entirely cook for 2 weeks. I mean, come twice a week to cook for the 7 people. That's where that came from. So they wanted me to come in twice a week to cook for 7 people. Now, that's what I was anticipating the call back to see when did I need to come in, on which day.
Yes.
And instead, they called me on the 13th and asked me to do the nanny position, and actually wanted me to come that day, right then, that day. I'm like, what?
So,
right now?
just like Sheree said, you were hired as a chef, but they asked you to do other positions as well. Yes. To help them out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so on the 13th, she cooked the food on the 11th. On the 13th, she came back and did the nanny duties, which, as you guys see, Drew was present. If you look at the picture to your right, Drew is on the couch chilling while she's taking Snapchat pictures with the daughter, and they're just roaming around the house and just doing what she needs to do to supervise and watch the kids. So on her first day, check this out, y'all. On her first day as the nanny, even though Drew said she did not hire her, even though Drew said that she was just like a girl that cooked, the food was trash, blah, blah, blah. Here's the assistant asking her to start showers, turn off the TV, and take the tablets. So on the first day, even though Drew did not know her, even though Drew said she didn't employ her, she didn't run a background check or anything, Monique was allowed to bathe Drew's kids. I'm talking about bare body, y'all. Like literally wash their privates and everything. If you see in the messages, it says, JoJo can take Anaya in with him, and Makai can go by himself. He played too much. And she said it's going to be great. Keep up the good work. Yet and still, she claims she did not work for her, but she could put her kids in the bathtub and bathe them on the first day of being a nobody that's not employed by them. Do you guys think that's weird? So how was your first day working for Drew, Monique, as a nanny?
So I came in, I went with Danielle, the assistant, to pick the children up. Mm-hmm. That was her showing me where I had to go to pick them up. Mm-hmm. In the afternoon. I went to the daycare, picked them up. And then when I came back, I just had to, prepare their food. It was already cooked. I didn't have to cook that day for the kids.
Because they informed you that the manager was cooking. There are receipts of that, but it's so many, y'all, I couldn't share everything. But it said that first was cooking, so she could keep an eye on the kids. Go ahead.
Right. So I didn't have to cook. Anyway, I just prepared the food, fix the food that was there. So after that, I had to, clean up behind them, interact with them. We went, to the living room, started, chilling and, doing everything that I was supposed to do. All the way up until night. I did whatever, I did. I treated them as they were my children.
Now, while she was doing all of this, y'all, she was also asked to locate Drew's wigs in her closet and take pictures so they could be sent off for repairs while fulfilling the nanny duties for the kids. So not only is she cooked the meal for the 8 people, but it turned out to be 11. She also was asked to go in her closet. As you see, the dates are on everything. They in Duluth. She took pictures of her wigs. Go ahead, baby. What you were saying?
No, I was just saying late at night, as you can see, if you look at the time, it was real late. So, because she said she was taken aback by my level of unprofessionalism. I'm like, what? I was taken aback by her lie. Like, why would you lie like that? I've been holding these receipts all this time, like not trying to bash her. I had so many people coming to me trying to bash her, other social media, bloggers and stuff like that. I had a lot of people coming to me, even a network, whatever. They came to me as well. I declined it because nobody was trying to pay me. And like I said, I wasn't going to humiliate another Black woman just, for free anyway. You're not trying to pay me or nothing like that. I just wasn't with it. So.
Yes. So from the beginning, like she said, Sheree said as well, she came in as the chef. She ended up being a nanny, and now she's doing personal assistant duties, though Drew has a personal assistant. She taking pictures of the wig, she bathing the kids, she cooking the food, and this is what, from October 11th to October 13th, but it goes on because she comes back as well, guys.
And those wigs, those was to be repaired too. Sorry,
Yeah.
she wanted me to take, so before she send them to be repaired. I guess she wants to see how they look before, but okay.
So the same day, the assistant Danielle that introduced Monique to Drew threatens to quit, and she calls Drew and Ralph ungrateful. Monique encourages the girl to stay at the job and to stick through with it. She say, no, F that and them. They ungrateful. I'm not the one. So Monique still goes back and goes to work for them because she just think maybe her friend just having a moment, So she returns, y'all, the next day, as you guys see on the photos. This is the son taking pictures. Which son is it, baby?
That's Makai taking the pictures.
Okay, Makai's taking the pictures, and as you guys see on the photo on your right, you see that JoJo is being tutored, and Makai's taking pictures on her phone. He even took a little crazy picture of her in there. You see the times, right? 7:35, 7:36. This is at nighttime, so she's over there from the afternoon to the evening. And these aren't all the photos.
Do you have the one with him taking the picture so they can know that he's the one taking the picture?
Of him with the smile.
Him with the
Well, on this
I have it. I have it right here.
Okay, yeah. Show your receipt, boo.
Yeah, because he's the one who took the picture. Because I don't want nobody think I was being weird. I'm not weird. He was taking
with the phone.
Yeah, he had the pictures. He was taking them. So you can go ahead. I'm just gonna show it.
Okay, so this is her cleaning up after the baby girl. She threw some things on the floor. She had to clean up behind her. See, that's a picture of him.
He took the picture, and y'all see the date. So yeah, he's the one who was taking the pictures, not me. I'm cleaning up the money that Anaya threw on the floor.
Okay. So on the next slide, Monique, after the 14th, Monique did not come back. She was feeling like what's going on as far as the hiring process and the pay. So she started inquiring about her pay, and they gave her the runaround basically. And they were telling her that they no longer needed her anymore because she asked to be paid after watching the kids from the afternoon to 11 p.m. or 11 p.m. or 12 a.m. every day. Like, for 2 days in a row, and cooking for 8 people bring her own. She brought all her own products, brought her own pans and everything, brought it over to the house, and they are acting like she is tripping about trying to get paid for her services, y'all. So you can go into what exactly okay, this is the conversation between you and Danielle, which is Drew's assistant. So if you guys look closely, Danielle starts playing stupid. She's like, I don't understand what you mean cooking on Wednesday and Thursday. She said, no, I took care of the kids those days. I wanted you to let her know that's not free. It was a job and I was away from my family with the intent on making money. Now, Monique, without saying your age, you're a mature woman. You have grandkids, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So what grown woman do y'all know gonna go and work for somebody for hours a day all the way until 12 a.m. at night with a husband and everything, that's gonna do that for free without getting paid, including cooking? So she said, I was away from my family with the intent of making money. The assistant replies and says, I will let her know what you said, but I'm telling you that's not how it works. That's not how it works to get paid after you do the work. So she said, but she still offers her, do you want the cooking job? She said, well, that's all I know. When you work, you get paid. So this conversation continues. She said, well, that's all I know. When you work, you get paid. She asked me to keep them. She know how it worked. Just tell her I am not a groupie and would like to get paid for my services. Okay. So she let her know, I don't know you like that. I ain't fanned out. I came over here to do a job and I expect to get paid for the job. So she said, I will take the cooking job though. Remind y'all, Drew said she never offered her a job. She never offered her a job. She was asked to cook. The food was trash and it had a hair in it. And she running around telling lies. Well, y'all see the receipts for y'allself. Are they lies or are they truths that are diminished by a bigger liar? So she goes on to say, the assistant, it was an interview to see if you fit. When you go to job interviews, you do not get paid. Monique replies, no, you don't get paid for an interview. She said, I can't keep saying that though. Monique says, but you do get paid for orientation. Now, we all know that. It don't matter where you're working. McDonald's.
If that's what they want to call it. Whatever.
Yeah, whatever. When you go there for them hours of orientation, even if they decide not to hire you, you get paid for your time because that's against the law. Okay. So she said it does not take 2 days for an interview. 2 days of her watching her kids, being her assistant, cooking food like a chef. She said, you know that, but we don't have to go back and forward. You can just tell her that she needs to pay me. So the girl asks again, who is the assistant Danielle, so how much for the food? I'm going to tell her and let you know what she says, but sounds like you more concerned about $50 or so more than long-term money. Just let me know how much. So, where we at? Just let me know how much. So I can lock you in and find someone else friend, because this too many words and I'm almost out of time. So it's too many words for her to ask for her money and ask to be paid. So they acting like she's taking up so much time by requesting that she get paid for what she did. Mm-hmm. So she also replies, nobody thinks you're a groupie. It's just not how it goes, love. A cleaning lady had a trap. Check this out, y'all. She just spilled some tea. Don't even know. Running her mouth trying to be big dog. Nobody thinks you're a groupie. It's just not how it goes, love. A cleaning lady had a trial cleaning for 2 days. The house wasn't clean. Didn't smell like she ain't getting paid. So remind y'all, Drew said she paid people. They trying to make her seem like Sheree and all this and that. Here's her assistant admitting that she had a cleaning lady come over and clean her house for 2 days behind. I mean, she got 3 kids, her and Ralph, plus the entourage. And because they didn't smell the cleaning products that this lady used, she ain't getting paid. But people are surprised Monique didn't get paid either. This seemed like some regular doing from them, trying to use that notoriety to put people on their base for nothing.
What notoriety though?
Yes, girl. But she alleged she paid people, right? So All right. And then despite Drew stating that Monique had hired her food on October 11th, funny, a little over a week later, they request her prices to cook for the kids. So here she goes. She says, okay, so now how much to cook for the kids? It's the same conversation when she asked them to get paid, discussing that the cleaning lady didn't get paid and everything. She said, so how much to cook? She said, how many days? She said twice a week. She said, just for the kids? She said, yes. Despite Drew saying she had hair in her food on October 11th, over a week later, she's asking her to cook twice a week for her kids. Now, does that sound like, and then she didn't even request to do this. As you see, she was asked, yet Drew acting like she a clout chaser, going around speaking on her name. But as you see, they are continually reaching out to this woman, asking her to cook the food. Also, I should mention, I forgot to mention, they returned her dishes about 2 to 3 days later when she came back for the nanny position. Assistant of Drew admitted that allegedly the kids ate that food for days, y'all. For days. That's why she didn't get her pots and pans back to 2 to 3 days later when she returned to do the nanny duties.
Yep. That's crazy.
Okay. And then almost 2 weeks after the alleged hair in the food, Drew assistant continues to request pricing for the kids' meals. Okay. So she said, good morning, send your price. She said, if they supply the food, $100 per day. If I supply the food, $200 per day. And she's like, good morning.
And that's because they just kept asking me. I just was like, look, at one point I even told her to throw out a price. Just give me a price. Because I'm tired. I mean, you just constantly, what is what is she trying to say? I'm trying to get she was
yeah. So as you see, this all took place on October the 23rd. On October 11th, she cooked the food. So almost 2 weeks after she cooked the food with the alleged hair in it, they're still asking her the pricing to cook for the kids at least 2 times a week.
Right. Okay? Mm-hmm. And then they went down to one time because they didn't like my prices that I had said for the 2 days. So then it's some receipts in there saying about the 1 day. I'm like, wow, okay.
Yeah, so they evidently thought her pricing was too high. So they tried to adjust it themselves, but y'all will see that in the receipts. So Drew again requested a price to cook for the kids. Okay, she said give her a price on October 23rd. She cooked for her on October the 11th in her entourage. On October 23rd, she's still saying give her a price, okay? And then, like she said start with once a week for $150. So she was willing to pay her to cook once a week for $150, okay? So as you guys see to the left on the screenshot, throughout all of this, they are sending her a non-disclosure agreement. As you see, it says Drew Pittman via DocuSign. Drew is continuously sending her a non-disclosure agreement. To me, I believe she was sending her the non-disclosure agreement so that she couldn't discuss what was taking place with their finances, because if she signed the paper, then she would be able to get sued for discussing what takes place in their household. So I think they were trying to shut her up on the matter about not getting paid, because as you see the dates, October the 18th, and then it was like 6 days ago, on the 29th. So they had to be like the 23rd when she talked to the assistant, when she said give her a price, So they were continuously sending her NDAs. I'm glad she didn't sign it, because she wouldn't be able to tell this part of the story to us, the viewers that really want to know the truth. Okay, so the assistant replies hold on, no. Is this the right one? Okay, yeah, it is. Okay, so they stopped talking for a while, then they connected back on November the 7th, 2021. Basically, she's told them that call me back, I'm sending this invoice over to the assistant. As you guys see on your screen, that's the invoice. She sent them invoice $100 per child per day. For the maid services, she did laundry. Go over everything you feel like you did for them, Monique.
Well, I did cook and I bought all the food, and everybody knows I prepared it, drove an hour away to bring it to their house. I prepared it the way they asked me to as well. Now let's get that straight because they said that they don't Ralph don't eat certain things and all of that. So I prepared it the way they wanted me to, and I also made separate dishes for the kids. So I did that. Then when I came on the 13th, I provided my love. I did everything for those kids that I would do for my own children.
Mm-hmm.
And so I did that. I cooked, I fold clothes and I had to separate them from JoJo's size to, Makai size. You see what I'm saying? They and like then she was like, oh no, you gotta put them up. These your kids. I'm like, oh, so I had to figure it out. It was not like I couldn't ask them like, oh, so whose is this and who's this? She just wanted me to figure it out. So I had to look at the tags. You mean what I did? You want me to go detail for detail? I had to look at the tag to see okay, this JoJo's. Look at, I feel like I was being a goofy now at this point because it's like, where's my money? And then you still making money off of me.
Yeah, and they still using you.
And
You watch, like I said on the invoice,
paid yet. Now you stepping on me because, like I said, I could have been came and drug her through the mud or anything like that. I wasn't trying to do that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not that type of person. I'm just like, girl, you know that I did that with love out of my heart, and you was just didn't want to pay me what I said. I don't, you know what I'm saying? And then you wanted to switch my position from this to that, and I wasn't going. I'm not finna stay away from my family from dusk to dawn and don't get paid. That's not the type of person that I am. So the duties that I did for her were, that maid services, everything.
Like you say, you shop, cook, and delivered the food. So that take a lot. Y'all know just regular grocery shopping and putting your groceries away, let alone grocery shopping, coming home, preparing the meal, wrapping it up, and delivering it.
I'm sorry to cut you off. It's so dark coming from where she lives. It's dark out there. And I had to drive by myself. Her assistant, if you want to stay from dusk to dawn and cry about your check when you get paid and stuff like that, that's on you. That's not the things that I want to do. I want to get paid for my services because, look, when I leave out the house going to provide a job, when I come home, I shower with my kids, my family. I came home empty-handed from a celebrity. Girl, please, and I ain't get nothing. I don't appreciate that. And the only reason that I'm even bringing this out now is because she's constantly talking about it. And she cried and lied. She said that the girl had braids in her hair on the thing. She told those ladies, I just left court, but I just left here. No, you didn't, because you came in there looking like the mayor of Atlanta. You had some straight hair in your hair. You had your coat over your shoulder like Superfly, and you was walking in there, girl. Stop trying to act like you came in there with them braids and you was all sad. No, you went in there lying too.
Yeah,
and your husband was looking at you like you was a damn fool because you lied on him right in court. And he looked like he was taken aback. He was taken aback by the way that you lied on that stand. When so yes, you're the liar. I never lied about anything that I said. I just was holding back some information because I really didn't want to drag her.
Yeah. So for those who don't know, cameras did show up to the courtroom and the court date. Monique was asked to be on the show. So if she had not declined, she would probably be on y'all TV right now. But they weren't trying to pay her what she asked for. So she declined the offer. Because she said she just feel like she's sharing her story for free. Once again, taking time
to help
Drew get a storyline when she's slandering her. So as you see, like I said, back to the screenshot, she said, I was sending this invoice. The girl says, you got the attention. First should be calling you soon. First is the manager. She said, I had to treat Ralph. Okay, so treat is Chicago slang for curse out. Okay, so she said she had to treat Ralph, and she's saying, what's going on? Wow, okay, what happened with Ralph? She said, he tried to make it seem like you were my worker. So here they are telling the assistant that Monique came to work for her. Yeah, as you guys seen in the screenshots, she continuously asked Monique to cook for the kids back to back to back. The assistant's not just saying this as an assistant. Of course, this has to go through Drew in order for her to be able to put these messages out there. She said he tried to make it seem like you were my worker, told his ass I didn't need any work done. So she like, hold up, she wasn't working for me. I didn't need no work done. This is something y'all requested me to find a cook. I found the cook, and now y'all saying it. She was working for me when I'm working for y'all. So how do that work? So she said, and Drew asked you to come back. So despite Drew saying hair in her food, despite Drew saying she offered to cook for them, you see her assistant in these text messages saying, Drew asked you to come back. She needs to reply to you herself. Okay, so at this point, the assistant is tired of being in the middle. She's saying it's too much he say, she say. If Drew wants to do business with you, Drew needs to contact you. But because she's been contacting her and now they're trying to say that she owes the bill. So let's go to the next slide. So she said, and I don't know why he's sending it to me. I don't work there anymore. Maybe send it to Ashlyn. I don't know if she quit or whatever was going on, but the assistant said she didn't even work there anymore and she don't know why he's sending it to her. So she was baffled as to why she was even shown an invoice. You know, she's like, why are they even sending me your invoice? You know, and as Monique said, her and the assistant were friends for a long time, but of course, this situation has caused our friendship to be fractured. So she replies that she's just talking to these jerks, and she said, shaking my head, what they saying. She said a lot. She said, what you doing? She going to get food. She going to get food because Monique ain't cooking the food for them no more. So now they got to send the assistant out to run around and get some food to feed them and the kids, honey. So they probably had some fast food that night with the way this conversation look, honey. So, okay, so the same day, y'all, she sent over the invoice. Okay, Ralph sends over a $150 gift via Cash App, not actual payment for the cooking / nanny work. So what conversations took place for him to send over the $150, Monique?
Girl, that was the conversation, right? Okay. So he called me and he was like, you know, asking me, you know, what was going on because he didn't know that he owed anything or whatever. And I'm like, you know, I was there cooking and, you know, I cooked for you, you know, you guys and everything. He was like, oh, well, you know, that was like a trial. And I'm like, a trial? I'm like, I don't understand. What does that mean? And he was like, you know, like I said before, this man said, you know, like, look at it like, you know, days in our lives or something like that. That's how the conversation went. He said something like that to me. And I'm like, what? I'm like, oh, no, I want that to be, you know, no day in your life and all of that stuff. And he was like, well, you know, telling me that he was going to send some money. He didn't ever say how much. Because if he had told me that he was going to send 150, I would have just went on and cursed him out right then and there. You know what I mean? He didn't tell me that. After I had told him, you know, made him remember, okay, I'm there, I'm cleaning up. You know what I mean? We had personal conversations. You know what I was doing there. You know what I'm saying? I'm refreshing his memory. Obviously, he's on, because he's calling me from First phone. So obviously, First was right there. So, you know, okay, so I'm refreshing his memory, like, okay, so what you mean? Like, you don't, like, as if you don't owe me or whatever. And so then he was like, well, you know, I'm going to send you, no, he told me he's going to send me something. He never said 150. Come on now. I would never, I paid way more than 150 just to cook the food.
And they also offered you 150 to cook for one day, even though that you cook for 8 people. They want you to cook for 3 kids for 150. So that price not even adding up, to be honest.
Exactly. And that's why the viewers was really confused too, talking about did they get me off eBay. Look, let me tell you something. The thing is, I set my price. Okay. You know, they kept saying that it was too much. I have a good heart. I felt like they needed me at the time. So I went on and I kind of negotiated my price a little bit, fluctuated, and they still wasn't happy. So I'm like, come on now, if I'm going all the way down, what you just say? Just tell me you want me to do it. Just tell me you wanted me to do it for free. So I can tell you, no, I'm not doing nothing for free unless I have that time to come over there and do that. At this time, when they asked me, I had dropped everything I had to do. I had my family there. We had just moved to Atlanta. We had, so because they had all this stuff saying that I was homeless and everything. I was definitely not homeless. I actually, got her assistant some clothes to put on to go on her first set with her. So I'm like, if she a celebrity and all of that, and that's what, anyway, that's just a whole nother situation. But however, I had just moved there to Atlanta. I dropped everything to come there. I felt like I was gonna get paid. Period. I didn't do that for free. And if you look at all those messages, I never said that I was doing this for free. And then she said she was taken aback. I just want to go back there because that's what got me. How was you taken aback by my level of unprofessionalism? If it's my first day, if it's a trial, after I put the kids to bed, I'm in your closet taking pictures, as you can see. How about I'm rolling up her joints as well? How about that? I'm rolling up her joints as well while she's laying in the bed. So I put your kids to bed. Now I'm putting you to bed. But I'm on a trial. I let myself out. How am I on a trial? What type of people are you? And if that's the case, if that's what you want to say, Drew, that's what it is. So
now, do you want to talk about any word behavior, anything that took place that you feel like was extra and above?
I feel like I was uncomfortable. The times when I was uncomfortable in her house was when it was time to put the children in the tub. So on the messages she told me to put the 10-year-old JoJo in the tub with the 3-year-old Anaya at the time. That's what their ages were. She asked me to put them in the tub together. But Ralph had put a vanity in Anaya's room, and so she wanted to take a bath in her own room. So the uncomfortable part with me is that I asked, I'm sorry, I had a text message from y'all. I asked, what was I just saying? What was I just saying?
Ralph put the vanity in the baby room and the baby room.
What made me uncomfortable was that I asked Drew about, okay, so do she wash herself up or do you want me to wash her? Because she was excited that she wanted to take a bath down the hall. So the boys stayed in the room with Drew. The two boys, they washed up down there. And then this was the first day anyway, not the second day. So we're talking about the first day. So I went down the hall. Anyway, I was asking her, she put on a deaf ear. I'm asking her, she don't hear nothing. She just on the phone. So I'm like, dang. So I had to call the assistant, like, do Anaya know how to wash herself or, do I need to wash her? He was just telling me I needed to wash her important parts and stuff. So I'm like, okay. So I felt uncomfortable doing that. And I also felt uncomfortable when they invited me into their bedroom while she was, ready to sleep and he, was not fully dressed. I felt uncomfortable then. And then there was a couple of times, like I said, Ralph and I had personal conversations because Drew, she really was kind of she talked, but not as much as Ralph did.
Yeah, she didn't really want to be bothered. I remember you were saying when you was folding the clothes, she didn't really want to explain anything, and
nothing. She didn't deal with the kids at all.
So I'm like, how you have the kids and don't want to deal with them? That's kind of tacky, as a mother. And then to let a random woman you claim had trash food, hair in her food, all this in there washing your daughter private parts and helping your sons up in the tub. I mean, it's not making sense for me. It's like, tell the whole truth because something about this ain't right. You claim this a random person that was clout chasing all this and that, but you letting her be in the room and then your husband coming out improperly dressed, inviting this woman into y'all bedroom.
And he was talking to me about some projects that he had coming up, like making some preparing meal preps for, because it was 2021 when this happened, y'all. So he was saying meal preps for 2022. I don't know if he even did that. I don't follow him, but he was talking about that. So if they didn't hire me, why were they talking about future plans? And also in the assistant's message, she said that I was worried about the $50 or so more than the long-term money. So they were really trying to promise me, like, if I would just stick with, the team or whatever, that maybe I would get something. I don't know. This is just me thinking how they was thinking. I guess that's why, like I said, I left the situation alone, because I just feel like maybe they just needed. They trying to build themselves up. Let them do it. Me, I wasn't trying to put myself out here like this. You know what I'm saying? I'm not. I don't have to do that. I need some money. Where's my money? Like I said, what my hoodie at? Go get my hoodie. I did the service, run me my money. That's what I was saying. But I even left that alone. You ain't gotta even I ain't even worried about that. I just wanted to clear my name, y'all. I wanted to clear my name and let you know that she's a liar, which y'all already knew that though.
Yeah, and that's the thing that got me, is because they make it seem like you was clout chasing and this and that. As Black people, sometimes we do try to cut each other favors, because we do know, we could just help each other out. Maybe you could pay me back later, or you can give me more business. So we will try to look out for each other, but to use you to that extent for those many days, and have you watching the kids, taking pictures of wigs, washing clothes, cleaning up, cooking for 8 people, then want you to cook for the kids twice a week, but to go on TV and say you had hair in your food was trash, all this and that, even though your friend of almost 20 years is the assistant and recommended you to the job. Now she just acting like you just a nonchalant woman that's coming around trying to see what clout you can get off her name, when really nobody paying attention to Drew since her ass was off the game. Like
zero, nobody even know her, y'all. This is what I want people. Can I please make this clear,
girl?
Whoever her fans are, that's good. But the people I know, and I'm from Chicago. If I say Drew, they be like, who? What? Birds chirping. They don't know who. They have to Google it. I have to name some long time something that she was on. They still didn't never see her in that. They didn't see her in whatever. I mean, come on, just. I never tried to get no clout off of her name, and that's a promise. I'm not that type of person. Like, I feel good about myself. I don't have no low self-esteem. I don't feel like, what she think? I don't know what she think, but no, I think I got more popularity than she do.
I think that they thought they were above you for him to even say it's like a day in the life for them. Like, who wants to be in y'all life? She crying because you running off to Vegas on a recent episode, thinking that you cheating. I don't even feel like she was crying from the court date. I done told you. I feel like she think that man was cheating on her, and she bust out crying and used that court date as a reason for that. Because who wants to be up in the house? It don't matter how big it is or whatever, if it's not a happy home. Okay, that's one thing they don't realize.
I have been in bigger houses. I have been in bigger houses. That's not the truth. I've been in the bigger houses, better houses. But I wanted to say this too. At the table, that recording that you played, she said that her lawyers was taking care of the situation. Mm-hmm. But on the after show, she patted herself on the back and said she represented herself. So which one is it? She be on TV just like lying, like who listens to her? Who even still want to look at? I mean, I don't understand who.
Girl, I just think people be bored on Sundays, so they just have a filling in. Yeah, look, the person said, they don't have anything, not paying 1,000. Right. Even Kenya and all them say, let's just put up for the money so we can pay the girl and get rid of her. Why would you go and file a lawsuit against them if you didn't have any valid claims? It's to me, I know, celebrities do get on TV and lie. They notorious for it. Some of our favorite people on reality TV are the biggest liars, Mm-hmm. So that's why I find
but at least you could be a good liar. Come on now. I don't knock a good liar. Damn. At least be a good liar. This is I have a 12-year-old daughter. She was watching the show and she was like, because she was talking about Africa to Mayetta. Said, I never been to Africa, but I've been to South Africa. And then my daughter said, well, Mom, she's not very smart. She don't think about what she say because that's just like me saying I've been to Atlanta but never Georgia. And I'm like, right. Yeah, she don't think about what she say. She just say stuff. She just like, yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna add these receipts back of first. You discussing everything with first about the 150 that Ralph sent you guys. So I mean sent you. So it said we can do this is first the manager, y'all. He said we can do 150, which that 150 Ralph sent the day she sent the invoice, because nothing was discussed on our end, and it was just you mirroring Danielle. Didn't even spell her assistant name right, even though she around and supposed to be part of the team. The manager don't even know how to spell her name. And we were told. So she says Danielle was not there all the time when I was there. Danielle was gone. As you guys see, Danielle texted her and told her, hey, put them in the tub, take the towels, all this and that. If she was right there with her, why would she have to text her that? Now, she said there were people in the house, though, but I was the one attending to the kids and putting Anaya in the tub and the boys as well. Really, the thing is, I just don't want to have put in work for free, if you know what I mean. He goes on to say, the manager, this was all talked about on our phone call last week when 150 was agreed upon and the cash app went through. She says, actually, he did not tell me that he was about to send me 150. He said that he was going to send me gas money because she had used their own gas to go to the daycares and pick the kids up and just run the errands to cook the food, go back and forth to their home and everything. And but on the 150, he said it was a gift. She said, if he would have told me that he was going to send me 150, I would have told him that's not enough to accommodate what I did. And then they go on and she says, she says, do you know what all I did, or are they just saying that this was a joyride for me? They kept asking me what's my price. She repeated once again. Drew asked me to come back. The same thing the assistant told her as well. So how is it that a day in their lives or whatever homie was talking about? So they saying Drew asked her to come back for the like cosplay in their home and take care of their kids as if she was living their life. That sound weird. Who the hell want to do that? Especially when you got a husband at home, grandkids, a daughter that's expecting and different stuff like that. She could have been with her own family instead of going over there taking care of our kids that Drew don't want to deal with. Because as y'all seen her, she on the couch on the phone. You know, don't want to talk to the help, don't want to help with nothing. You know, who want to do that for free? That sounds crazy. Mm-hmm. But anyway, the contact with Drew's team and Monique ceased on November 13, 2021. And then it didn't pick back up until September the 25th, 2022, when part 3 of the Real Housewives of Atlanta season 14 aired, when they brought Monique up. So that's when Monique decided that she was going to file a lawsuit on October 7th, 2022. So she filed a lawsuit and began speaking out on social media on October 13th. So even though they say she lying and all this and that, they still went to check to see what she was saying. Because as you guys see, Ralph was on her story, you know. So it didn't even get a lot of traction yet because she was sharing things on her story. So he's checking out her page. Other members of Drew's staff are checking out her page. Go into what was being discussed as far as harassment and everything of you.
What was being discussed?
Yeah, when they were harassing you.
Oh, yeah. Well, her assistant was just putting things on social media, just saying all type of things about me, sending messages to other friends of ours, telling them not to be my friend no more, like we were in kindergarten, telling them not to be my friend no more, that I'll be talking about them, just a lot of stuff. And just then with them constantly putting it on the show, with Drew constantly denying that I was, you know, just acting like I was, you know, beneath her feet or something like that. So, yeah, that's what they did to harass me.
And that's when that last lie coming out about the hair being in your food, right?
Right. Yep. She just made that
After
up
all
out of
this was
nowhere.
exposed, that's when they start sharing that.
Yeah, she made that up out of nowhere because I'm like, why is it if I had hair in my food, why are you asking me to cook? On the 11th, when I left there at 7:33, one of those receipts says that they called me back to offer me the job to cook twice a week for the 7 people. That's that one time. Then on the 18th, she asked me to cook again, because after she had me doing it for the cooking, being a nanny for the children, that's when I guess she wants to switch me back to cooking. That's when it was a no go. All right, that's why the messages said, I'll cook. That's cool. Where's the money for the other 2 positions? I done did the other 2 positions. Now, where is that money? Then we can go ahead and we can talk about, further me cooking for the kids each week or whatever they wanted me to do. So that's why y'all see at that point, I just started saying anything in the messages as far as what we can do going further. I really wanted the back end. I wanted my money from, what she already owed me.
Yeah, so after everything happened, Monique decided to speak out publicly on October 15th, which was almost a month after. It was a little less than a month after they aired part 3 of the Real Housewives of Atlanta season 14 reunion, because she was tired of the slander of them saying it was hair in her food. They're going around calling her crazy, a clout chaser, saying that it was a trial period. She worked for them when she knew none of that was true. She knew she'd been in their house doing laundry, cooking, watching the kids, helping them with tutoring, doing everything. Yet they're just trying to make it like she's a crazy girl that showed up and said, let me be at your service, when that wasn't the case, So she spoke out and listen to what she said, y'all. This was on October the 15th, 2022. She said, I came in Drew Sidora's house as a chef cooking for her. I prepared food for 7 people. I paid for all the food and delivered it to her house. She asked me 2 days later if I could come in and be the night nanny. I drove 1 hour to her house at 5 p.m. and left around 11 p.m. each day. I picked up her kids from school. I fixed our food that was there for them to eat, sat with them doing tutoring and playtime, got them ready for bed, bathed her 3-year-old daughter. I got their clothes ready for the morning nanny, did laundry, folded clothes, and couldn't leave until the kids went to sleep. So they wouldn't even allow her to leave while the kids were woke. Even though those are their kids, she couldn't just put them in the bed and be like, okay, I'm out. She had to wait until all the kids were asleep, as if they couldn't deal with their own kids. Okay. And then she said, I had to tell Alexa to turn on calming music that Ralph so-called makes. So the kids needed calming music to go to sleep. She said, I think that's what got Drew's brain sleep. Okay. Because when I started to ask where was my money for the services I had provided, she stopped responding, which they stopped responding to her last year. She even sent the email when they were sending over the NDAs to say, hey, I'm still waiting for payment, before she signed an NDA and said she's going to be a part of our team. She would like to get paid. So she said, I started emailing and sending them my invoice to her. And all of a sudden, Ralph called me talking about, look at it like a day in their life, like days in their life, as if their lives are so extravagant. Somebody going to give up being with their husband, kids, grandkids, and all of that just to come over there and run around and clean their house, honey. So she said, I was blown away at this point, but he said he was about to send me a payment and ask for my cash out. Do you know this lame sent me $150? When I saw that, I instantly texted them back and they stopped responding once again. She tagged Shade Room, Gossip in the City, and Bravo TV. I ended up reposting this on October the 17th on my Instagram, and it got about 50,000 people paying attention to the post. After that, she was featured on Tasha K. She was featured on The Shade Room almost like 2 months later after this. The Shade Room picked up the case when her and Drew were going back and forth in court as well. Now, listen to Drew's statement in court, y'all. Okay. The response to the summons, Wane versus Sidora. She says, in early October 2021, I was told by my assistant Danielle Madlock, whatever, that her friend of apparently 18 years, Monique Wane. Now, her assistant and Monique have been friends for over 18 years. So the assistant had to know Monique could cook and Monique was good for the position or whatever the case may be. Reached out wanting to prepare a complimentary meal for me and my family. But as you guys seen, with the text messages, they reached out to her and asked her to prepare the meal. They said, in hopes of being hired as our personal chef. My assistant Danielle communicated some dishes for me. Communicated to Monique Wane of my family's dietary restrictions, and I accepted and allowed Monique Wane to prepare some dishes for me and my family to taste. She dropped off her complimentary meal on October 11, 2022. Now, she's saying that she dropped off the complimentary meal for 8 people on October 11, 2022, when clearly you see the sample plate that she sent over there. She ain't nobody gonna cook for 8 people for free. Who got money for that? Y'all know how these groceries is in these economy. Let's not be slow. So said now she say Monique didn't follow dietary restrictions. There was hair in one of the dishes, the clear Pyrex dishes, wrapped in clear wrapping that they kept for 2 to 3 days after finding a
They refrigerated. They nasty.
Yes. Come on now. Okay. So, all right, hold on. She said it was hair in the dishes. Okay. Hold on, y'all. Something. Okay. We thanked her. However, my assistant Danielle informed Mrs. Wan that we would not be moving forward with hiring her for the personal chef position. Yet, y'all see in the receipts, they continuously asked her to cook for the kids. They threw out a price. They kept saying, how much for the food? When are you going to do this? We would like the pricing for this day. Well, if you can't do 2 days, do the 1 day for $150. They throwing out prices to her continuously. They say she asked Danielle because she interviewed for the nanny position, and she allowed her to do so as she was a longtime friend to her assistant. She said Danielle explained that she would need to come to the interview and also meet the children in order to be a good fit. Say Danielle set the interview for October 13, 2021. What interview y'all know take 5 or 6 hours? What?
2 days.
Yeah, 2. You know what I'm saying? She said October 13th when you first came to watch the kids after you cooked the food on October 11th. What interview takes 5 hours? I've never seen nobody do a nanny interview that took 5 hours ever. So she asked Danielle to set the interview up. Monique was a friend of hers. She said she treated her like a warm referral rather than a cold interviewee. So if she treated her like
Ralph did, but not her.
Yeah, that's why I would say she didn't even speak to you. She didn't even assist you with anything. She barely interacted, so how was that treating you like family? She said we treated her like family. She said Miss Wine came to my house. We laughed and we spoke about Chicago, even though she didn't have the qualifications to be a nanny. Well, according to her, she didn't have the qualifications to be a cook or any of that stuff. Yet and still, y'all ain't checked no certification or anything. Y'all allow her to come in y'all house and cook. She ain't had no qualification to be a nanny. You allow her to come in there and bathe your kids. I'm talking about first day. This supposed to be the interview. Why?
This the result of her lies. She's so dumb. That's why I didn't even want to do that to her. I didn't even want to make her. She's so stupid.
Yeah, she didn't have the qualifications to be a nanny or anything. She said Danielle insisting that she shadow her. If she shadow her, why would she need to text her and tell her that, put the kids in the tub, all this and that? You would think that she would be right there beside her because the shadow is right behind you, right? It's right up on you. So she's supposed to be watching her every move. She said when she arrived in the home, she was unimpressed. She had an unprofessionalism and a bad attitude. Yeah, as you guys see, the kids were smiling with her. Drew was completely unbothered by her. She was on the couch on her phone, so it just doesn't make sense to me. She's claimed that she made a Miss Wan statement that claims she allegedly picks my children up from daycare, but that is false, as she was never an authorized person to pick up the kids. I saw the receipt. She did pick them kids up for daycare. She does have the screenshot of picking them kids up from daycare. There is a daycare worker in the picture as well. So I saw it all. Okay, so she said she emailed an invoice on November 6th, which we saw, and the manager saw the amount of 1,000, and they were all shocked and confused. They shocked and confused that she wanted to be paid for her services, y'all. Shocked and confused that a woman that's a grandmother, even though she looked good for her age, baby, would show up and want to be paid for being there watching her 3 kids. Y'all know 1 kid can be a lot. Watching 3 kids that you didn't raise, don't know, washing them up, folding out clothes, helping them with school, doing all of that, including cooking a meal for 8 people. Like she said, going shopping for it, preparing it, and delivering it. You know, she thinks that she's shocked that this woman wants to be paid for that. So anyway, she goes on to say that her husband reached out to Miss Wane personally, and she was present for the conversation. He asked her why she sent the invoice. They were all confused that this woman sent the invoice to be paid, honey. She stated to the husband that she was a single mom. That's a lie too. Living in a hotel, struggling financially. Do it look like she in a hotel, y'all?
No, not in a hotel.
Like, I mean,
never was. I've been on my own a very long time. I've never been homeless. Thank God. I've never been homeless. So.
Yes. So
I don't even know where that came from.
They just want to discredit her and make her seem like she doesn't have things together. This is the things that people can do. It's actually legal. You know, even though it's slander to a certain extent, you know, she can say, well, I actually didn't know. And in court is when she said that. Who told her that?
Her husband. She said her husband told her, because I asked her, I said, who told you that I was single, homeless, and financially unstable? She was like, oh, my husband told me. He was taken aback. Ain't that her words? He was really taken aback by her saying that, like, what? You know, yeah. So, yeah. She
and
did.
Now we're going to say, feeling compassionate for her predicament, my husband gifted her $150 for the kindness of his heart. He gifted the $150 on the same day she sent the invoice. So he felt like giving her some out the kindness of his heart on the same day she sent over the invoice. Like, I don't know who made this up, but I mean, if it was a lawyer, maybe Drew did represent herself, because they just keep contradicting themselves and everything that they're saying. On the same day she sent over an invoice to get paid, you felt compassion in your heart to send her $150.
And what is that? My 12-year-old will go through that so fast. And everybody who know me and who tuning in, y'all know that's her meal. That's how much my 12-year-old meal costs. So we're not even gonna go there with Drew talking about her husband gave me that out the kindness. He said, well, he's not too kind.
And then she claims that Monique began harassing her and her friends and employees with false claims and accusations of this whole account. But as you guys see, she got receipts. So what is false that she's saying at this point? You know, it's seeming like Drew and them statements are false when you look at this paperwork and you see everything that we just broke down in this video. What exactly is she saying that's false? She came over, did a job, watch your kids. Drew even tried to tell Sheree, it's a lot of lies on the internet. But as you see, like Sheree said, she came in as a chef and she ended up being an assistant, a nanny, and everything else. So what is exactly false about what she's saying?
I'm just like, only thing that Drew missed in there, because she said that I came in and I didn't engage with the kids, but instead made myself a plate of food.
Oh, yeah.
Only thing that she missed was that I put my muddy boots on the table. She forgot to tell them that.
Lord have mercy.
I kicked my muddy boots up on the table and went in that lady's house and ate her food.
I know, it just sounds like a story. It's just crazy. I don't know, but I'm glad you came on here to tell this story, honey. Because
I would never do that, you guys. I would never go to somebody's house. It's people who I've known for years, and they can tell you I would never walk in their house and make myself welcome to a plate of food in their kitchen. That just don't even make sense.
The person said if it was Hal, it was probably Drew Hal in the food.
That's what I'm saying with that cheap ass. My hair don't shed.
Yeah.
My hair don't shed. So tell them that. I mean, I don't know. She's crazy. She wild for that. But I don't have those problems, Drew. I cook all the time. I don't have anybody. She what she's trying to do is slander make my business go down. That's what she's trying to do. She's caused me loss of a couple of clients, for this, and that's another reason why I'm coming out, because that way I don't have to tell each individual person. If you tune in, you'll see that she's a liar, because obviously I didn't have hair in my food. If she wants me to,
Somebody said hair in the food is what people say when they don't want to pay the bill, like at a restaurant.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Right. But then another thing, you guys, just think about this. Even though I know I don't have to explain myself anymore because I know you know. But if you find some hair in a food in your refrigerator, why would you put it back in there? I didn't get my Pyrex dishes for some days.
And
If I see some hair, I'm gonna dump that dish out for sure.
Yeah, because I don't know what's in it at that point.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm like, what type of people are you? Like, you already, I don't know what type of person this is. She just probably get lucked up and made it some type of way, because you don't have no morals. And see, that's what I have. I have morals. And I wasn't trying to, like I said, bash her and run her through the mud or nothing like that. But as you can see, that's what she's doing to me. She's on episode 10 and 11 talking about me. And I know they're going to talk about me probably on the reunion as well. I don't like it. It's stressing me out, and even though like you say, I look this good, thank you. I don't feel good most mornings. I don't feel good about this situation at all. When I'm at work, I'm thinking about it. When I'm doing, I have a lot of different roles I play in my life. You know what I mean? So I'm not able to function the way I should, because I have somebody calling me, telling me this, calling me, telling me that, a blogger trying to do this, the network trying to get, and I'm like, what that does when you have that distraction, it's like, man, now I'm thinking about that. Should I go on there? Should I, do this? Should I do that? Yeah, it's just a lot to think about. So
Yeah, so it has affected your mental health, right?
yes, it has. I
Yeah.
never thought that I would be seeing a counselor, a psychiatrist, taking medicine, any of that. But yes, it really has. It's affecting my family, me, everything. Everything that she acted out, and that's another reason why I came on here, because when she was doing that, I was so angry and hurt, because of the fact that these are the things that I'm feeling. This is the way that I feel, and you're making a scene out of it. You know what I'm saying? Like
a model.
Like Candy said, scene. You know what I mean? Because this is really a scene. This is you're an actress. You know what I'm saying? Very pretty, but not a lot of brains. You know what I mean? So anyway, yeah, she's affected me a lot, and I wanted to speak out, let everybody know, and I also wanted us, people know, because I know the cleaning lady, she went through this and everything. It's a lot of people who don't want to speak up for themselves, but I encourage you to do it. Speak up for yourself, because guess what? They can't keep getting away with this. I would say speak up for it, and then don't listen to what the public got to say. Yeah. That's what I would say.
Yeah, somebody said, do what you need to do to get your coin. You earned it and more, which is true.
Yeah, but that's a done deal. I'm not worried about the money no more with Drew, because I see I'm not gonna get that. What I want right now is for her to stop. I want her to stop trying to bash me, stop making me look bad, or trying to make me look bad. And the lies. That's all I want. I just want her to stop. That's it. If she could just stop. I hope this gets to her, so she could just stop. I didn't do it to you, so why are you doing it to me? I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't think these reality TV people know when they go on TV and lie on people that it affects them, because even though they see us as regular people, to know that you're telling the truth and to have millions of people think that you're a liar and a clout chaser is not a good feeling.
No.
Somebody say you need to go on the show and show Drew the liar she is.
I mean, I was, but I didn't know. See, with this stuff, it's so tricky. You don't know who is who, what is what. So you really can't just accept all the offers. I didn't know if it was her trying to just get a storyline, and I didn't, like I said, I didn't want her to get paid. They weren't offering me no money, so I didn't want the fame. So I didn't want to make her any more money, and I don't get anything. If y'all know what I mean, that's why I didn't do it.
Yeah. And so I'm gonna put up the picture of the court date. So this is when they went to court, guys. This is the assistant Danielle in the yellow hat. And that's Drew over there in a black dress. I guess that's supposed to be her lawyer. You know, I don't know who wrote that statement though.
She didn't have a lawyer. She didn't have a lawyer. These are people that's her sister.
Oh Lord.
That's her sister. And that's her. Okay, because she's on the show. You can see when she had those braids, and she was saying that she had braids. No, this picture was sent to me, and look at her. She got on black. She got on black and white.
Not see no blonde braids.
No, she got long straight weave, black weave. So she came there looking like the mayor of Atlanta. She was stepping, boy, super fly. That's how she was in there. She had a little jacket over her shoulders, walking in there. Yeah, full of lies.
So ultimately, though, they said, "Why did you lose the case?"
Okay, so I didn't so much as lose the case. Let's just say I represented myself, and I didn't know that I was supposed to. I'm gonna just say I don't know. I didn't know a couple of things that I was supposed to do.
Yeah,
yeah, I didn't know a couple of things that I was supposed to do, and so yeah, that's why the judge did not rule me to get my money. Okay, but as you guys know, she countersued me for $15,000. She didn't get that, and of course, I didn't get mine because of those small details that I forgot on my end because I didn't have the knowledge of an attorney. So if there's any attorney, I do have something to discuss, and it's not about the whole thing. Hit me up. But yeah, so however, that's why. So yeah, I didn't lose. I felt like I won. I felt good about it. I came home happy.
Yeah, because she didn't sue you neither. She didn't get anything from you either.
No, she didn't get anything from me. And then I was just happy that I defended myself, y'all. I mean, I was just happy about that part because $1,000 ain't gonna make me or break me. I'm telling you, like my daughter has a real bad spirit. So $1,000 not gonna make me or break me as far as that went. It was just about the principle of everything, and I didn't want to work for free. You know, I don't do that.
So the whole point of you speaking out and sharing this story, as you said, is so that people can see your side and that Drew can stop using this as a storyline, correct?
Exactly. Please. Okay. I hope she could just stop using it.
Yes. They say, are you they say, what were you contracted to do?
We didn't have a contract, and that's why that was another problem. See, if we was contracted, oh my God, that would have been so much better. So I encourage anybody who try to work with a celebrity or anybody, I don't care if you friends, you feel warm-hearted, whatever, have it in writing, don't feel bad. I didn't have anything in writing.
Okay. And someone else said, are you going to sue her for defamation?
Wow, good question. I don't know. Maybe if there's a lawyer out there. Yeah, we don't know. Good question. Should I? That's a good question.
Now, my main thing is I want to see how this gets spent with you selling with you sharing your receipts, because this is the first time she's ever shared these receipts, guys. Everybody has asked for these receipts from her. All the gossip blogs, everybody that she interviewed with wanted these receipts, but she felt comfortable enough to share them with me. I told y'all, I'm your favorite blogger, okay? Yes, so she felt comfortable enough to share her receipts with me, and I thank you for that, Monique, because like you said, as viewers, sometimes we look at shows and people don't realize it's really like an illusion. It's not the truth, it's half truths, it's sort of, twisted in a lot of lies, So, yep, they said 8 people and 3 kids, a total of 11 people. They say you better sue her.
Yeah.
So hopefully, Drew can learn that you just can't go around using people, even though they think less of you, evidently, to say that you're gonna spend a day in their lives as if their lives are that extravagant when they having financial issues and divorcing and all that crazy shit. Like,
now I would like to have a day in a Birdman's life or somebody like that, but never in I don't know them people. I don't even know you. And like I said, I always joke around and say, I grew up watching Rudy Huxtable. What's her name? I don't remember her name. And Tootie from the Facts of Life. Lady, I don't know you, okay? I don't know you at all. And then she's saying I'm a little girl. I'm older than her. She's so disrespectful. How would you be disrespectful to somebody who helped you? I had a warm heart, and I was helping her. And she said she went out of her way to say that because she was like, that's not a woman. That's a girl who wanted to. Really? Dang. So it's like, come on now. I had to come out with it. Because what? Like, I never let nobody talk. We from the same place, Chicago. You can't talk to me like that, lady. I mean, I know I'm a little humble because God ain't finished with me yet. Okay, I done been humble all this time. She brought a little of the other side out of me when she started like talking about me like a dog. That's how I was said to me. That's how I felt. I'm like, dang. And then the other ladies, they all think that they uppity in somebody or whatever. So they like, these people want to be around. Who want to be around you? This is what I'm saying. I don't like when nobody. I got mad. I got mad at some of the ladies on the cast. You know what I'm saying? I love Sanya because Sanya at least told you don't do people like that. And that's period. It's not like she didn't label me as beneath her, like what's the one with the messed up skin with the bad booty? That one. We ain't gotta even say her name. You know who I'm talking about. She gonna say, baby just can't. Like, I'm not beneath y'all, baby. We both pump the same thing, blood running through our veins. I'm not beneath none of y'all. Just because
if anything, you better, because you going over there taking care of somebody's kids who don't even want to be bothered. You couldn't wash your own daughter,
and then little wide mouth on there talking about, because I've been through that when people try to, no, you should be talking to her because I done inbox y'all as well as I inbox Marlo. You seen it. You know what I mean? So don't try to act like, get on that. Y'all not nothing. You don't have, well, she got her money going and all of that stuff or whatever. But at the end of the day, like I said, we're all human. Her hair don't be looking like none either. But
anyway. But the funny thing is, they saying all this about money. Meanwhile, wasn't Drew trying to buy knockoff bags?
Oh, she sure did.
Yeah, so we got the receipts on that too, Drew, of your team reaching out.
That was my last sip of wine.
I know, look, I'm like, I should have took a shot myself. But of your team trying to buy counterfeit bags. Yeah, I'm not counterfeit. I'm sorry, hot bags. They were stolen bags. They weren't fake, but they were stolen bags, trying to get them for the low. So it must be some money issues somewhere, because if you claim to have got it like you got it and y'all doing so good financially and people clout chasing off y'all and all this and that, why? And the person is actually a friend of Monique's that she reached out to. So you'd be surprised how small, Atlanta is, or Georgia, or whatever you want to say, and who know who, because ultimately it goes to show that you've been doing crooked stuff and been halfway getting around. And like you said, who is she? Because when I first saw the wigs on her first time on Real Houses of Atlanta, I was done, baby. I was done. So
no, y'all gonna think I'm lying. I'm so serious. Okay, so I didn't watch the Real Housewives of Atlanta at first. So when Danielle asked me to cook for her, I started looking her up so I could see, things about her and how she looked. So when I looked at the pictures, whatever makeup artist she had in the seasons prior to this one, she was dark, and then her hair was really messed up. And I was looking at it like she was some like older lady. But when I went to her house to bring the food,
She was younger.
she walked out. Yeah, because there was a lot of people there. Like I said, it was like an entourage of people. So she walked out, and I was looking. I'm like, I didn't know who was her. She was so light skinned and she was pretty. So I'm like, and then it was like, you ain't gonna say nothing to Drew. And I'm like, oh, hey, that's Drew. Hey, Drew. And I gave her a hug because I didn't know who she was. And then her other assistant, the guy who was her assistant, he was doing more, talking to me then because he loved the food that I cooked and everything. You know what I'm saying? So I was talking to him. But anyway, I didn't know who Drew was because she was all dark. And
that same assistant is the one who alleged that they ate that food for days, despite Drew saying it had hair in it. They fed them kids their food for days.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
It just.
And hopefully I could find him and hopefully he could vouch for that maybe one day. Or whatever. But I'm sure y'all know.
All those receipts and you still didn't get your money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because like you said, you just didn't know the proper route to do everything, and
exactly.
Now to always get a contract, because regardless of word of mouth in court, it's just always better to have a contract. Because
right.
I don't know if you guys follow Aretha Franklin on that, but her will was written on a napkin, and that held up in court because it was written on a napkin. So just writing anything down can help you in court because they don't care about the he say, she say, the Texas, the conversation. That it's all about what can be proven. And ultimately, Drew can show that, she never physically paid you and you didn't give her a contract. So she wasn't obligated to give you anything, regardless of you going and putting in that much work. You know what I'm saying? So that's just the messed up part about everything. But like I said, I'm glad you did tell your story because people look at TV and they see what they want to see, but to actually hear it from a real person who has no reason to clout chase or do anything, just want to tell our side of the story because they're being minimized by somebody that's on a network with millions of viewers.
Yeah.
People can look at this and say, oh, well, she just want her 15 minutes of fame, but they don't realize, like I said, when somebody's looking at a channel with millions of viewers, that's millions of people who have this perception of you when that's not really you.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
I didn't feel good about that at all. I've been really stressed out about that. I can't lie. Really.
Yeah.
Like I told you this morning, I was like, oh, I got to get myself together. Because that alone, just thinking about, the things that she said to me and how
she diminished you.
Yes. And constantly doing it. And then I'm thinking about all in my mind, like I know they finna be talking about it on the reunion because I'm sure they finna talk about something else now.
And you told me that too, and I didn't know they filmed that reunion, but I just saw the photos from it the other day, so I said you right.
Yeah, they already filmed because I would have went on a reunion and and talked about it with them, but I wasn't gonna do it just to let her get through the season. But she still used me through the season anyway. Little old me with the hair and the food that you just want to keep, but that you want to keep eating, or I'm sorry, you wanted me to make it for your kids once a week.
2 years later, almost 2 years later, they still talking about this. Like they ain't talk about her husband and his alleged divorce or the financial issue,
and how he treats you and how he look at you with disgust. He look at you with disgust. If my husband ever stopped looking, if he ever starts looking at me like that, oh my God, that would mean something for me. Like I wouldn't want my husband to look at me the way her husband looks at her. He looks at her like he
and
just
then with the recent allegations about her kissing a woman, you think you want to share that other stuff about the draws, the underwear sniffer?
You irritated.
We'll have to share it. But it's some weird stuff going on.
I mean, that is weird. Yeah, but damn. So the assistant, was folding Drew's clothes and putting Ralph stuff together. She be, lining his glasses up with his this, with his that, and everything. And she what's going on and sniffed Drew's panties. And I'm like, sniff Drew's panties. I'm like,
over there sniffing Drew panties, y'all.
And I'm like, and she was like, I love her, bitch. I'm like,
Now what's the orientation of the assistant?
That was the orientation, all right? No, you ain't
teaching
me
her
to sniff
sexual orientation.
No coochie juice now. You ain't finna.
She in the rainbow group, right?
Yeah, she's married. I'm sorry.
She's married, but she's a lesbian, guys. So that threw me for a loop when I recently saw the stuff about Tad, the girl from Love and Hip Hop, supposed to be messing with Drew. Because I'm like, she might have already been into women or something because her assistant is,
I don't know if I think that was because sniffing some draws don't mean you getting it. You know what I mean? That means
you
just want to smell somebody coochie juice.
That don't mean you. Why she want to smell her?
I don't know, because I don't even want to smell my husband draws.
Me neither. I don't want to smell nobody damn draws. So.
No, like why you want to smell somebody? So, but anyway, I don't think that she giving it to her if she gotta do all that sneaky weird shit.
That's what I'm saying, but it's just like I don't know. It's just weird to me. Like it's just weird to me. Now all of a sudden she supposed to be into lesbian stuff and all that. I'm like, ain't no telling what's going on with these people. It's always somewhere.
I don't know why I don't believe it, but I heard that that Mimi confirmed it. So
yeah, she did.
I don't know.
She did on one of the blogs a while ago. So
well, maybe that girl staying there from dusk to dawn like that. She probably putting something in her ear when Ralph be gone out of Ralph want to do this and that.
She with her all the time.
She probably there like, let me talk to you.
I'm just saying, it's just weird to me. Like, it's just weird to me. Like, I don't know no assistant that sniff people especially a woman sniffing another woman.
I don't know nobody. That's weird. You don't do that. That's not normal. You don't do that as an assistant, as nobody. Even if that's your significant other, I wouldn't want nobody. I mean,
me neither.
I'd be like, damn, you weird, ain't
it? Yeah. But anyway, girl, so we've been on here for like an hour and 30, so we're going to wrap this up. I'd like to thank you for joining me, Monique. Thank you all for joining me, too. Be sure to press that like button, y'all. I got more tea coming as well. Y'all want to know that Married to Medicine release date? Stay tuned, because I got that. And, that charade tea. I need to go through the recordings of Ariane and get that charade tea for y'all as well. So stay tuned, press that like button. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you for your time. And thank you, Monique. And I'm going to be talking to you
later. All right. See y'all later.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.